What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about CLOV stock, Clover Health, ticker symbol CLOV, because this stock has actually been beating the market the past couple of days. It's a small market cap stock that's been outperforming the market and has actually been beaten down quite a bit over the past couple of months. So we're going to talk about where it could be going in the future and some of the catalysts that are actually driving it up now. So obviously, looking at the chart, you guys can see that the earnings call is the most obvious catalyst that just pumped it up and pumped it up pretty significantly from levels of around $2 where they found some support finally. Now they're around $2.50, so we're looking at about a 25% increase, and we are hitting some resistance around $2.60, right? On the initial day that the earnings call happened, we pumped up to just barely above that, then got shot back down, and just earlier today, we also hit up that $2.60 level before moving back down once again. Now, we're going to talk about what to watch for in the future. The first thing is the next earnings call, because this earnings call was actually so successful. But before we do, I will tell you guys what Clover Health does, just in case you're new and aren't into Clover Health before this. So Clover Health provides healthcare insurance services, and it uses its proprietary technology platform to collect, structure, and analyze health and behavioral data. That's about as deep as we're going to dive into their actual business model. But Clover Health, their fourth quarter earnings results were incredible, all right? They're looking at really good growth in the future. They got great revenue this quarter. Their fourth quarter total revenue was $432 million, actually, up 160% year over year. And the lives under Clover Health management, so basically how many customers they have, increased 233% year over year. And they expect 2022 total revenue to exceed $3 billion, driven by a projected 90% year over year growth in their customers. They're expecting a ton of additional people to start flocking to Clover Health during the course of 2022. Now, you guys all know healthcare is probably a good area to be in this era, right? We're looking at the baby boomers all aging up and starting to get on Medicare and all kinds of stuff that Clover Health does work with. Okay, so Clover expects 2022 operating expenses as a percentage of revenue to also decrease in 2022, right? They're expecting a decrease in their operating expenses as a percentage of revenue, and they're expecting it to be pretty impactful from 2021 to 2022. So a pretty meaningful decrease right there. And their CEO has actually said in this earnings call, he said, "We are really excited about where Clover sits today and our prospects in the future. We are enabling physicians to provide great healthcare to all, especially those in underserved communities, and are pleased to see increasing focus from CMS on health equity." He also said, "This year we are expecting significant growth in revenue and lives under management, while at the same time we believe we are driving operating efficiencies and improved MCRs." So that is the first thing that you're going to want to pay attention to, the first main thing that you're going to want to know. Obviously, their current earnings call was really good, so you're going to want to watch out for their next earnings call, right? The next earnings call could be a big booster for Clover Health. You could see really good stuff for them at their next earnings call, but obviously you guys are probably interested in, what other than their next earnings call could be pumping them up, what could be getting them past this 260 level. Hopefully they'll just move past it throughout the course of the day, because the markets are actually recovering as the Russia-Ukraine situation is kind of alleviating some fears today. All right, we're not as worried about that. So things that could drive it up, right, are obviously there's some long-term fundamental things as well as some shorter-term things, right? Interest in Clover Health stock. This is a Google Trend search for Clover Health stock. You can see that as it's been pumping up, they've gotten significantly more Google Trends, or at least Google searches, than they have been getting the past week, right? You can see searches were pretty stagnant until this earnings call really pumped them up. We're still continuing to see higher than normal search results for Clover Health. So we could actually see a revival of something that we've seen in the past, all right? This is an opportunity for Clover Health to have happen what happened a long time ago. They were actually a Reddit favorite stock. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on Reddit and see if Clover Health starts emerging again as a potentially stock that's going to be pumped up. And there are a couple of reasons why it was getting pumped up, all right? So that's the next thing that we're going to want to watch for, Reddit attention. You're going to want to see potentially on apewisdom.io if we start to see Clover Health trending near the top of the list. It's not there now from the look of it, but if it starts getting into the top 10, top 20, that's when you might want to start taking a look at a short-term position on Clover Health, when it could be due for a little pump like we saw in the past, all the way up to almost $30 in the past is where we got. And we used to cover this stock on the channel a decent amount of the time, but the main reason why this thing was a Reddit favorite was because of the short squeeze potential, right? It did have a very high short interest, and it actually still has a fairly high short interest that's been increasing for the past month or so. Since January, we've actually been increasing on short interest. We're up to about 10% of the free float, which isn't the most. We've definitely seen stocks with more shorts as a percentage of the free float, but we've got about 32 million shares. So that would be significant if we did start moving up in price quite a bit. And these low valuations, around $2, it's not that tough to pump up a stock because the market cap on CLOV is about 1.2 billion. So we're only at a $1.2 billion market cap. We could certainly get pumped up. And another reason that the market cap is pretty important, okay? So that was the third thing, right? Short interest volatility you're going to want to watch for. You're going to want to see if some shorts are either getting into or leaving this thing. That could indicate that maybe Reddit's going to take a liking to it. But the next thing, the reason that the market cap matters for CLOV stock is because you're going to want to see the PS ratio. Okay, you actually want this to be moving into a more positive direction. Now, the PS ratio, the price to sales ratio, we've got it right here. And unfortunately, there's not too much data for it, but you can see that over the past couple of months, it's this bottom line right here. It's been decreasing. And the price sales ratio basically means how much are they selling compared to what their share price is. So at a 1-to-1 share price per sale, you're looking at a situation where the market cap would be, say, $1 billion, and they would have $1 billion worth of sales. However, in this situation, you're seeing that at 0.75, they're selling far less than their market cap, okay? So, fortunately, we're looking at a situation where they are actually undervalued according to the price sales ratio. Typically, on stocks that are a little bit more bullish, you might see a positive price sales ratio, and they are expecting to actually grow their revenues dramatically. Now, the reason that it's negative right now, or why it's under 1 at the very least right now, is because the price has actually been decreasing over the past couple of months while sales have been increasing. So that's the magic combination where you start to get stocks at a really good value. If the price of the stock is decreasing and the sales of the stock are increasing, then you're starting to see a situation where stocks become pretty decent buys, fundamentally at least, over the long term. So if you guys are interested in this as a long-term fundamental play, based off of their earnings call, based off of the projected growth that they have for 2022, which is fairly significant, then it could be an option for you if you're interested in stocks in the healthcare industry. Then CLOV is certainly an enticing option, and I am looking at it myself. I've not bought into it yet. I used to be in CLOV, and I did end up selling out before it really crashed. But now I am looking at getting back into it because it could provide an opportunity for just a long-term growth play, right? It could be a good opportunity. A lot of those stocks have been beaten down. And I do want to point out that if you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 11,000 subscribers, so we really wouldn't need that many people to actually hit that subscribe button to help us out in a pretty big way, and it would be much appreciated. So if you want to do that and you want more news on CLOV stock or any other stock that you might be interested in, feel free to subscribe and maybe join us for the live streams. We certainly do those every morning at 9 if you guys are interested in that. And for the most part, those are the 4 things that you guys are really going to want to watch for, right? The next earnings call, you want to see them getting a positive price to sales ratio, which would actually mean, over the next year, if it takes them a year to do it, then their price, stock price wise, would actually be much higher if they're improving their sales. If they're getting more sales, then if the ratio is positive, then that just means they have an even higher price, stock price wise. So also watch out for Reddit attention. Once again, apewisdom.io is a great place to look at the top trending Reddit stocks. And the final thing, where was it? There it was a short interest volatility. If you guys have a subscription to Ortex, then you can check that out on a daily basis. If not, then feel free to join us in the live streams and ask to see the Ortex data on CLOV stock, and I'll be happy to show you guys that. So other than that, guys, that's what we've got on CLOV today. It's looking like an interesting buy and potentially considering entering it myself, but we'll just have to wait and see what I end up doing, right? I'm still considering it. I don't like to jump into things right off the bat, but if I were to buy in, I would probably be selling some call options against it just to lower my cost basis a little bit and collect some passive income. So I'll let you guys know on the locals channel down below if I end up doing that. Feel free to follow that, top link in description if you guys are interested. And other than that, guys, keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.